Sports fans,
Sports lovers.
welcome back to a very, very special episode of Global Sports from a Caribbean perspective. I am your host, Prime, and I'm here with my boy,
Champion.
who is holding a very,
Champion.
very special
Call me
jersey
champion
right
too.
now. I have my boy, Champion, and I have my boy,
Tops.
and we are about to dive into the FIFA World Cup 2026 finals. Absolute cinema. Maybe not for the neutral, but guess what? For the Spanish fans here on the podcast. We're going to start the Oles.
Not yet. Still too early.
All right.
Let's remain
We'll keep
humble.
it civil. We'll keep it humble. What we want you to do right now is to tune in, tell a friend, get involved in the comment section, share the live, share the link, and let's get this thing moving. It was Spain versus Argentina. It was Lamine Yamal versus Lionel Messi. It was a new generation versus the old generation. And Dappy, we said something very interesting at the last live. We said, you know, there would be a change in the guard, but you corrected that phrase and you said it's more like a passing of the torch. Would we say the torch has truly been passed here now? Spain emerging champions of the world. 1-0 victory, extra time victory. Very, very reminiscent of 2010. Comments?
Well, where can we start? Spain are champions and deservedly so. I'd have to say, I don't think anyone would argue that the better team won yesterday.
Football won.
And football won in the end as well. I'd have to say that Spain were hardly challenged in that game from a defensive perspective. And it was only a matter of time before their passing broke Argentina down. It took until the 106th minute via a ferocious finish, one would have to say, from Ferran Torres. But they eventually did it, and deservedly so. Obviously, we'll go deep into this game and what it means for Spain and some of the players, the coach. But overall, just a small picture take, Spain definitely deserved to win yesterday.
Now, we're going to get into the World Cup final very soon. As I want to see you involved in the comments today, just like all of the other days. Don't be running away now.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into the breakdown of the game, but let me just appreciate where we have gotten to. Let's just look back a little bit. That is 48 teams. It's 104
4 games, yeah.
games in total. It's 3 different host nations. It's Mexico, it's Canada, it's United States of America. Given that we've had all of those games, we've had all of those matches, what is your honest impression of the FIFA World Cup 2026?
At the start, I was a little skeptical with the 48 team format, but at the end of it, I must say it was really a great spectacle. Lots of goals, a whole 136 more goals than the previous edition. Games with Germany, you know, the bigger teams meeting the smaller teams, of course, you know, it wouldn't be evenly matched, but, you know, those teams took advantage and, you know, really demolished those teams. So it was a goal fest. It took a bit long to really get into gear, but when it did, it took off and we were treated with goals and goals and more goals. Well, except for Spain fans.
The tournament surpassed my expectation, to be honest, because I thought the 48 teams would have made it feel a bit watered down, but it didn't feel like that at all. We saw a lot of surprise packages, like the likes of Cape Verde, who, you know, we wouldn't have fancied, you know, in a 48 team tournament. They were in a group with Spain and Uruguay and advanced from that, while Uruguay did not. So credit to, you know, FIFA for the initiative, but we know the reasoning behind the expansion of the competition. But it proved, you know, to work in the end.
And we want to comment on that reason only. I mean, we here at the panel, we think it's really financial, but we want to comment on that generally speaking. We'd have to say it was an experiment, right?
Yeah.
I am worried, however, because it's an experiment that sort of worked. And if we have proof of concept now that more teams, more games being involved, I think it's a dangerous precedent to set for the regular footballing schedule, because, I mean, who's to say now we don't get
there's already
100-team Champions League?
There's already rumors or talks I'm seeing on Twitter about like a 64-team World Cup for the next one. So we are setting a dangerous precedent.
I think we should pump the brakes on a 64, just maybe another few editions of a 48 format
to see
before
what
we,
works.
before
Well,
we
like
go.
we said, people were worried about this new 48 team experiment, but the expanded format didn't really prove those critics right. A lot of people, like you said, Shaba, were worried about it diluting the quality, but we still got the drama. Like you said, Lappy, we definitely got the goals. But we have to mention the physical toll that all of these matches is gonna take on the players. I mean, outside of the physical toll, the mental toll of all of this high stakes, always on the line type of football. I mean, we saw some persons' talent shine and others their talent kind of dwindled. And as we said, we know the real reason for it. We could tell you it's about 655 million reasons for that. Because the prize pool was a massive $655 million, with Spain taking home a nice 50 million.
50 million.
Out of that nice good food back in Spain.
Come on, man.
Hopefully we could see
2
La
million,
Liga
man.
starting to, punch at the big boys. But I mean, this North American tournament, would you say it has shifted what the World Cup would be like? I mean, nobody does commercialism, capitalism.
Like,
Like
I hate it.
like America.
Yeah, and the halftime show
And this
was
World Cup
evident of-
certainly felt much more commercial. I would go as far as saying, however, it felt more in line with modern sports and what modern sporting activities, like, for example, the Olympics have become. That sort of general spectacle. I feel like World Cups of the past, I won't say Qatar 2022 because that was a bit modern too, but it felt a little bit more traditional, a little bit more historical. Now it's feeling very,
As you say, commercialized.
yeah,
Yeah, and,
feeling very.
and it started with the hydration breaks, and at first when Shab asked about it, probably in the first week of the World Cup, I was all on board because I was, for the safety of the players, but you can't tell me you're drinking water 3-4 minutes, bro, and you're fully hydrated by then.
Yeah, it's
All
too
you need
long.
is a little sip and you back on the field. So all this back to the drawing board, shifting up. I feel like they should have taken the coaches out of the equation. You get a sip and you're back onto the field, because those hydration breaks changed momentum in not a numerous amount of games, and I really hope it's the last we see of these fixed hydration breaks in the first half and the second half. I mean, we've seen it in La Liga games, we've seen it in Premier League games, but not every game is only when it's
Extreme.
required.
Yeah,
So
if you're in a particular area that is a little bit hotter, like we
If
say
it-
we down on the coast of Spain,
yeah,
I
if it's,
get it, but-
if it's one reason why I'm happy the World Cup is over, because I really wanted to get away from all the
felt-
commercials
I wanna
and
say this.
hydration break.
it felt like 4 quarters. It felt like basketball.
Yeah, that's how they wanted to have it presented.
And when you look at the momentum shifts associated with the hydration breaks, it's very, very much NBA style in terms of, after this is because, I mean, we're giving it this nice physical label about hydration break. It's a tactical break.
Yeah.
Coaches are
100%.
interacting with players, and when I say coaches, I don't mean just the head coaches. I mean the entire
Yep.
coaching staff
Yep.
is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Instructions, adjustments. This is in game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for the tactical battles and the little tit for tat, but I find,
Yeah, just
and
make
then
the
we're adding it
adjustments
back
as
on
you
in
go.
the end, and
Yeah.
I don't know. But we don't want to get into a touch up on the World Cup itself just yet. Shaba, hold up the shot. You come here for one reason. Maybe not one, a few. But we're going to gloat a little bit. We want to get into this game, and we want to talk about how Spain brought the pain to Argentina. Pain has landed in Buenos Aires and landed in many a city and household around the world. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you some general facts about the game, and you'll give me your impression on these stats or these moments, etc. Right? So you go to Spain, and I'll mainly talk to you, Shaba, about that, because I know you have a lot to say
Right.
about your championship team. And then I'll give you Dappy. I'll give you Argentina. Good. So it's 1-0. It's extra time. It's Ferran Torres. Would you believe it? In the 106th minute. If you had Ferran Torres scoring the winning goal in the World Cup final, comment down below. That has to be a crazy party. But when he came on, I did say the funniest thing ever Would be fair, scoring the World Cup winning goal. Shaba, that is now the second star, the second estrella above the La Roja badge. Second World Cup after winning in 2010. It was Johannesburg, now it is New York City. Similar shades of South Africa, scoring in the second half of extra time. A Barcelona player scoring the goal versus 10 men. Memories?
Instant memories, and what followed after when you saw Sergio Ramos bringing out the trophy and greeting his Spanish players, and then Rodri going up to lift the trophy as well. It just felt like a full circle moment, because I'd say that Sergio Ramos and Iker Casillas and those players from that generation, Raúl, because I am a Real Madrid fan. So contrary to popular belief, you can be a Real Madrid fan and a Spain fan.
We could live love it.
Right. Those are the players who made me fall in love with the Spanish national team, and it was just so good to see Sergio Ramos ending up bringing out the trophy and being the one to raise it there for Rodri. So the way Spain ended up winning the game, like I say, it was a huge relief, because if the game had went to penalties, the form that Martinez showed in the game, I think Argentina might have pulled off the victory. So thankfully, it didn't get that far, and Spain, like I said, deservedly champions.
Rafi, this is Argentina's fourth time finishing as runners-up. They are now joint most for runners-up in the World Cup finals, along with Germany. History not favoring the Argentines on the night?
Yeah, and the football didn't favor them either. The coach didn't seem to favor them either, and the result was deserved on their behalf. They did everything that they could to get to this point, and you must give credit to them, must give credit to the GOAT, who basically carried the team, because there was no help. It was non-existent otherwise, and I think the coach really, really needs to admit that he's at fault, and players like Nico Paz not playing a single minute in the tournament is kind of blasphemy to me, as a youth. And we change any guard. Messi's last World Cup, we change any guard. Nico Paz had a brilliant season.
Why player of the season.
Why not, bro? So
Why not give him some?
I think it was
Lautaro Martinez didn't see the pitch.
a glaring error on Scaloni's behalf, and that's why they are runners-up.
Well, the football truly didn't favor them. They ended the 90 minutes with 0 shots on goal, 0 shots on target, naturally, with only 2 shots.
Two touches.
Two touches, sorry.
2 touches.
In the box. I think the shots only came in extra time.
Extra time.
They are the first team ever to fail to have a single shot in 90 minutes in a World Cup final. And again, Statsman,
Across 900 matches since 1966, this was only the third instance of a team failing to have a shot in regular time, with the other 2 teams being Costa Rica. So just think about that, the fact that Argentina, a country or a nation as big as Argentina with their footballing history, couldn't produce a single shot, with the greatest player ever on the field, is just a testament to the way that Spain repelled them, right? And it will come to a point later on in the show where we'll have certain discussions about where the Spanish team lies and how better they are than everyone else. But the way they basically blanketed France and now Argentina is crazy.
it has to be spoken about. I mean, the first shot came from the greatest player, Messi. I think in the 117th minute, somewhere there, leaving it very late.
Yeah, and it was just a shot in anger with no real, chance
Yeah,
of
but
getting
I'm sure Marino is still feeling that.
The effects of it, for sure.
Back to Spain, however, Shaba, let's talk about it, right? They're the 4th team to win the Euros and the World Cup back to back, and this is their second time doing it. And we know that they actually had, that time it was Euro, World Cup, Euro. Because 2008 Euros, 2010 World Cup, 2012 Euros. So 2028
Euro, better
Come
watch
in.
out, watch out.
come in, right? But more on Spain. Spain are now 38 matches unbeaten. That is the longest run ever by any European or South American team. Tell her I don't do watching football, you know. But France is the favorite. Mbappe boy, all he say. Dembele. Yeah, woo, do it.
Look, what,
No,
what-
we have no. I leave in you. I
No,
leave in
because
you, I
no,
leave in you,
because
absolutely.
because let's be fair, bro. Let's be fair. Coming into the competition, people would have Spain as one of the favorites, but I don't think anybody necessarily, or most people would have necessarily predicted them to be the actual winner of the competition. I feel like people think that Spain attack was extremely underwhelming. The defense was vulnerable, and the fact that
Boring football.
the coach can continue to play Unai Simon over
Boring
David
football.
Raya, who was the best Premier League keeper this season. Everybody thought that those things would have been a downfall, but Luis De La Fuente deserves all of the credit in the world, in my opinion, because this is his making. It is heavily influenced by, and this is what I would have to hate to admit. It is heavily influenced by Barcelona and the style of play to always want to attack and be on the front foot.
Producer, put me up.
Not
put me up,
because
put me up,
not
put me up.
because all the Barca players they might not necessarily be protagonists, but the ones who are like, let's put Paul Kubasi's name out there, for example. Let's start with him. I think it's fair that we start with him.
Best
what
young player.
Best young
of
player.
The tournament.
The first Spanish player ever to be awarded that award. But bro, the performance level of him at 19 years old, at the heart of the defense, plus his ability on the ball.
Pau Maldini.
The line breaking passes were crazy.
Pau Puyol.
Crazy.
Pau Piqué.
His quality is incredible. And in 2006, I'm old enough to remember watching the World Cup, and Fabio Cannavaro won a Ballon d'Or after his World Cup performance, basically, despite doing nothing at club level. But the performance of Paul Kubasi in this tournament, I feel, is on par with what Cannavaro did in a competition, because they conceded one goal. One goal throughout the entire competition.
Fewest ever in World Cup history.
They faced Portugal.
Unai Simon 7 clean sheets is also a World Cup.
Remember who they faced? Portugal, Belgium, France, Argentina,
And
plus Uruguay in the group stage. So it's not like they had a paper, a cotton run like certain other teams.
And Cape Verde, who the other finalists couldn't beat.
The only team to stop Spain from doing anything is Cape Verde. So there's total credit to them, and Vozinha especially, who made 14 saves in that game. It's actually incredible that Unai Simon has only made a total of 10 saves throughout the entire competition. And yesterday, Emi Martinez made 11 saves. So it's testament to the way that Spain is able to keep the ball. We'll get to Rodri, because Rodri deserves the most praise, I'd have to say.
Yeah, because the strength of the defense is based on keeping the ball.
Yeah, but I just feel like Spain didn't get the credit they warranted coming into the competition. We were blinded by France's talent on paper and not necessarily the cohesiveness of the Spanish team.
Fair.
And they're only gonna there's still another level for this team to go, in my opinion, because I'd have to say they haven't peaked.
Exactly.
They have not peaked whatsoever. Spain went through the whole World Cup without Lamine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And I
And that's why I was
commenting
counting them out every time, bro, because it felt like, even though you had this solid defense, because we watch football every year, we watch football all the time, we know how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
One mistake alone could change the entire complexion of a game. So while I saw Spain with all the dominance in possession, and say I still believe in just football happening. You get me?
I agree.
And one thing that really stood out to me is how poor Spain were in general in front of goal. It's just, as much as you had the possession, you couldn't break down some low blocks. And you needed Lamine to be on his best form in order to break down those low blocks. Nico Williams as well, because Baena wasn't the best. He had, a few.
He just provided balance. I feel balance.
But yeah, I feel like
He surprised me though.
Very
He
much
was
so.
a consistent
that was
performer.
just the most glaring part where you guys failed to
Be clinical, up front, more clinical. But I feel like it's very reminiscent of the 2010 team as well, because they won every knockout game 1-0, and they had the deadly David Villa and Fernando Torres. So it's very, very comparable to the way that Spain won the competition 16 years ago. Is the same philosophy,
And
basically,
coming from a more unlikely place and them kind of things.
at that time. So it just goes to show that doesn't matter who is on the pitch, because even when we mentioned off camera when we saw Rodri coming on for Zubimendi, even when I saw Marino coming on for Olmo, because I think Olmo was playing well at the time, it doesn't matter who came on or who substituted in, their roles basically remain the same. Pedri had a great impact off of the bench, right? So every player had a role to play, and it doesn't matter who the name is on the shirt. Only certain players, would necessarily play like the 120 minutes Lamine, but every other player is replaceable, and it just goes back to credit Luis de la Fuente.
100%.
All right, so that's Spain's second World Cup to go along with 3 Euros that have been won since 2008, and in 2028 we look to make it 20 years. Nice little anniversary there. As we reminded, Spain have become the 4th team to win the World Cup without going behind for a single minute
That's even more impressive
at the tournament.
than anything else.
And we mentioned that going into the semi-final clash between Spain and France, both teams had that stat of not trailing for the entire tournament. But I mean, France's 2 games, semi-final and third place playoff went all the way. And we'll come to that third place playoff indeed. Just a little bit more on Argentina, Dappy. Let's talk about the GOAT. This is the 4th game for Messi ever at the World Cup that he has failed to create a single chance.
Crazy.
It's either the full stop at the end of the career is just a testament to how great of a game that Spain actually played and how much they were able to neutralize not just Messi but Alvarez, Molina Olia, you name it. It was off. Roger Depay was on the field and he might as well not have been in that midfield. McAllister might as well.
Yeah, bro. And you said talk about Argentina, but it's kind of hard to do that without mentioning Spain once more because it was all about what they did off the ball as well. Whenever they lost the ball, they tried to counter press and win it back as high up the pitch as possible. As we alluded to earlier, is the same Barcelona philosophy: lose ball, win it back quickly, and then even if the ball is on the left hand side, Pedro Porro pinching in the midfield to make sure he snuffs out Messi or any other free man. So as Shaba said, the cohesion there, the structure there, and the communication was incredible to see because it's a football game. Lapses in concentration happen, and to see that Spain was so on it and they really nullified Messi. I think 20 minutes gone in the game, and the commentator mentioned Messi has only had 1 touch and it was kick off. That was crazy to me, and it proceeded that way until maybe into the second half. You get me? And I think Ranks was next to me asking, how come Messi not dropping back deeper, going to the flank and so, but it's one thing to do that, but the amount of possession that Spain had, the space was limited, and then the time on the ball for players was limited, so you wanted me to speak about Argentina, bro, but
it feel like every time.
Well, I will go into a point about Argentina based on that because the press from Spain is something I don't think people are mentioning.
That's where I was going.
That's actually why you saw players like Rodri actually having to come off maybe late in the game, and a lot of neutrals looking at it were probably like, oh, how you going to take off Rodri? Rodri is the man running. That's exactly why he has to come off because he is the person running. And it might look pedestrian to some, it might look boring, but there is nothing easy. And anybody who play football will tell you there's nothing easy about keeping the ball in the midfield against a team who want the ball and who want to make things happen for them.
Yeah,
you take that easy?
Force Argentina.
You take them triangles there and all of that movement and all of that in between the lines passing
There
easy.
were a few times.
Olmo and Oyarzabal starting it. Oyarzabal basically funneling the keeper to one side and Olmo staying in the cover shadow and then pressing the man who going to receive the ball.
Whoever
and
on
then
the ball
everybody
next.
collapsing on the man
Close
and
the
forcing them and
passing
forcing it long. When I see man on the halfway up the field as a
And
sweeper
Paul,
keeper and
all
power.
about winning it in the air.
So,
Easy.
I go give Argentina some credit for this because they did their press in the first half, I go say, disturbed Spain a bit. Spain broke through a few times, right? Not to create a clear one-on-one opportunity. They did create like half chances. Oyarzabal had one from outside the area, poor finish, but not much else in the first half. So I'd say that Argentina's press in the first half, they were very aggressive, I'd have to say, and we'll get to that as well. Overly aggressive, I'd have to say, right?
No,
and they were being pardoned a lot by the officiating.
Paredes, how you step on the field.
And I ain't even talking about Paredes yet.
How you step on the field.
Not even 5 minutes into the game, Alexis McAllister is 2 feet off of the ground tackling Danny Olmo or someone. And no card. So the referee allowed them to be a bit physical, and that disturbed Spain's rhythm a bit. But Not to that extent, because it always felt like Spain had the ball. Every time Argentina win back the ball, they might circulate it for a bit, but never in Spain's half.
And the
They
fact
feel
that
like
they
they
lining
kept
up in a 4-4-2 as well, they could have never compete with Raji dropping back into
Yes,
that
4-3.
between the centre backs.
Yeah.
They would have had to commit somebody to go mark Raji, and then Otamendi would now have to move up and press and
Remember
hold more.
Cucurella and Poro
So-
basically in the midfield tournament.
So they
It's
really
long
had a
field,
lot of
it's-
mats to
it's
match,
long
and
field. And guess what? If Kubasi or Laporte get the ball, it's the same pass where Roger make them and they make it.
Laporte, there has some
Now, for
points
say
in
them
time
man have to
Laporte
cycle.
in left back
Them man
and left
have to cycle
central
back. Yeah,
midfield,
them man have to cycle back the
forcing
ball.
Argentina, baiting Argent players to come on to him, and then by the time they make a move forward,
Yeah.
pass straight to the
Go
guy.
get trick. The same baiting you mentioned, it had a few times where some of the passes were a bit under hit. And this is to the pitch too. The
Surface.
Yeah, the surface, like it was poor. I heard the commentators kept mentioning it, and I felt like the ball was rolling very slowly as well. And even when they zoom in, you could see pitches and patches. That was a very poor choice, half topic, but that was a very poor choice for a final, I'd have to say, especially playing it in the daytime. Whenever you see any World Cup final playing in the daytime, bro, it's supposed to be played on the night. But I feel like the pitch contributed to some of the poor passing that we saw, and they could have been picked off.
I feel like they played it in the daytime to accommodate other people around the
That's
world.
that's
as well.
fair. That's
So-
fair.
I get it with the time zones, and this is the first one that we see in recently on our side of the world. So I guess that's why
Yeah.
we experiencing it.
Yeah, but otherwise, I'm not, bro. Argentina ain't compete, bro.
Well, we know that because I'll come into the next point. Not only did they not compete, they were getting frustrated, and that frustration turned into aggression. And thanks to Enzo Fernandez, Argentina have now been showed 3 red cards in finals. All other teams have 3 combined.
So will I tell you what them? That's their true.
And
colours.
that's while getting all of these calls and these favorable decisions.
I feel like
Speaking of,
because they sorry Fred, but
No,
I feel
no,
like
go through.
because they went through all those knockout games with this kind of temperament, playing this roughly, they thought they could have gone into the finals with the same kind of bite, and they were mistaken.
they were over they were playing on the edge and sometimes over the edge, bro, because some of the tackles merited cautions, and the referee wasn't budging. At a point, we mentioned Paredes, bro. Paredes came on in the second half, at the start of the second half, got a yellow card within the first 5
he
minutes.
make a tackle upon Kubasi self. Kubasi up in the air.
No, that's Enzo. That's
no.
a different one.
Now when
Oh,
Kubasi
you mean
came
when
up,
he up it?
Kubasi already jumped in for the ball,
yeah.
and he the underneath the man, elbowing the man
Yeah,
out to the
yeah,
air,
yeah.
and Argentina get the call.
And no foul. Right? So Paredes had authority to do whatever he wanted, and that allowed Argentina to stay in the game, because they should have been down to 10 men long time.
Because
If-
that was the guy I
if-
predicted would get the
If-
red card. I
If
wasn't
you're
looking for
allowing,
Enzo.
all I have to say to the referee is, if you allowing some of them foul there, Nico goal stands. That's
Yeah.
all I saying to you. If some of them think they in the midfield there, ain't even getting you for blow your whistle. I don't see how VAR
Keep it
could
tight.
find the tunsiest little
Yeah,
thing
because-
and Otamendi.
Flying.
The
Why-
foul before wasn't even in the frame.
Why-
You catching Otamendi in the air after
Why
he stopped.
up in the air. Anyhow.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Unfair gameplay twice. Before we move on to talking a bit about the third place and then giving some awards, because we've had a long tournament, so we had to talk about some of those individual awards and so on. Sharp,
Tell me.
this Ballon d'Or thing and the midfield for Spain, I ain't understand, right? Because it's a plenty names you could train, and then last night we been talking a man say Fabian Ruiz, right? Realistically, Fabian Ruiz have 50 caps for Spain. He's never lost a game for Spain. And that 38 unbeaten run definitely contributing to that. He's the 10th player ever to have won the World Cup and the Champions League in the same season. He's played in both finals, had decent showings. Why he not in the conversation? Along with Rodri.
I feel like his contribution is not as much as it was in the last time that Spain won, when they won the Euro in 2024. While he was good, I feel he was just just quiet, just basic, coming off in about the 65th minute in every game, whereas in the Euros he played up to 80, 90 minutes in those games. Same for PSG as well. He wasn't as influential coming down the stretch. He did start the final, but for most of the knockout stage, it was Warren Zaire-Emery who was playing alongside Vitinha and Joao Neves for PSG. So while he has the accolades to his name and he is a warranted candidate, I'd have to say, I don't think he'd be necessarily favorite or even top 3, top 4. The voting for the Ballon d'Or is gonna be very interesting. If you're asking me who is necessarily the favorite, I'm not certain at the moment, to be very honest. I have no clue.
I mean,
That would be something.
Just trade it in there. It's a popularity contest.
Yeah, and if that's the road going down, then fine.
My young brother has a World Cup. Anybody who vexed with that, take your World Cup.
No, he has a World Cup, but
Put it on the table.
I don't think.
Anybody who vexed with that, take your World Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup, but I don't think Lamine did well
Take
enough.
your World Cup.
My body.
Rodri should. If there's any Spanish player again, the Ballon d'Or is Rodri.
100%, bro.
I'm nobody else.
Like it.
And if there's any Barca player again, the Ballon d'Or is Kubasi, not Lamine. Based on World Cup performance plus season performance. Let's be real. Let
My boy
be
had
fair.
27 shots, the third most in the competition. 27 shots, the third most in the competition. One goal. I mean, just a while ago we've been talking about Elise not making the team of the season. Team of the season simply because he didn't have any knockout wrong assists. And Lamine, who we expected so much from before the competition started, I didn't think he was as impactful as he should have been. I'm not saying that he played badly, but I think Rodri had a better.
We spoke about Cannavaro winning the Ballon d'Or because of his World Cup performance, right? If Lamine won the Ballon d'Or, come on, it's not because of his World Cup performance. If anybody should win it, based off of the World Cup performance, it's Rodri. If Messi had one, Messi would have a very strong case to win the Ballon d'Or, despite not playing in Europe, in my opinion, because he carried a poor Argentina team
100%.
to the World Cup. But him losing the final, for me, automatically disqualifies him from winning the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. Others might disagree. But in terms of Lamine, I don't think Lamine deserves it either. And if he had played even just an average World Cup, he would have a stronger
Probably
shot.
have a shot, bro.
Because he had an opportunity to open the scoring yesterday as well. A very poor finish from him.
Bro.
And it's not necessarily...
I feel if he scored a
got-
different game.
You understand?
But we
if
did
he
say
had
that.
scored,
We
we
did say
could have bring that narrative. If he had
if he scored a different
that was an easy chance for him as well.
Yeah,
on
he
his
was
left
looking
foot.
for-
You
necessarily
understand?
back of the net.
So it's not a he might not win one in his career, but this year, come on.
All I will
That'll
say
be for
is
real, man.
it's a popularity contest.
All right, buddy.
And he is quite popular.
All the best.
Nah, that would be crazy, bro.
Just a last note on Spain, before we give a last benediction to the GOAT. Ferran Torres has become the second player. He's asking to come up a little bit. All right. Ferran Torres has become the second substitute to score the winning goal in our final. And if you're in the comment section right now, name me the other substitute who came on and scored a winning goal in our final.
Mario Götze.
There you go. I was about to give them a hint to say it was also versus Argentina. Speaking of Argentina, we need to,
Finally.
nah.
Finally.
Yo, enough of all of this finally thing. Let me bid farewell to my GOAT in case, if you come back in 2030, that is on you. Right? That is on you, bro.
That's what, 43?
That is on you. But here is where I done finished long time and he leave Barca years ago. So my relationship with the GOAT has already shifted quite significantly. I was happy to see him win in 2022 and I celebrated that for him, for what it meant for him, but his team, not for me. Messi ends his World Cup career with the most appearances. How many?
34.
The most minutes played, how many?
3,054.
The most goals and assists, how many?
33.
The most assists, how many?
12.
The most successful dribbles, how many?
140.
The most shots.
140 again.
The most shots on target.
64.
and he's obviously second now in World Cup goals scored because he's 21 and a certain Kylian Mbappe, like we predicted. Although I said it would eventually happen, I didn't think it would happen in this World Cup. But I also said it would be the most Kylian Mbappe thing to go in this third place playoff. Like a hat trick.
Sure.
90 minutes.
Win the most.
Yeah,
When the
now is when he
goal
now is when he go show up.
And he couldn't even win the third place playoff. I want to get straight there. It was England versus France. This is what all you picked to be the World Cup final, and maybe y'all had it right.
I can't believe Tuchel still sit down in the seat now.
No, England should feel ashamed because if this is the kind of attacking performance that they could put out, right? I mean, let's be real. Both teams probably wouldn't be too overly tactical going into the game in terms of keeping the game tight, and that's why it was so open.
Yeah, 100%.
But it just goes to show the kind of attacking talent that England have at their disposal and did not use in the semi-final against Argentina. Bukayo Saka scored a hat-trick, the second player to score a hat-trick in a knockout game since Jeff Horst in 1966. And Saka did not get a single minute against Argentina. How is that possible? Neither did Nani Madueke, neither did Eze and the likes. So for me, England winning this should just make them feel even worse about losing that semi-final against Argentina because they definitely had the guns to capitalize on the goal that they scored.
Of course, they had the guns. Jude Bellingham, 7 goals. That's the outright most ever by an English player to sing a World Cup or Euro competition.
And he's not a striker.
Hey, Jude.
I ain't going to move like Jude had the most vision in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I could see that, I show Thomas Hood.
True.
You get me? Jude is a runner, dribbler, strong.
Final
You
top
was
player.
as a man who break down defenses a little bit with fancy turns, quick passes and then 1-2s and then getting off a shot with either foot.
Well, he chose to not bring other players like that. He likes Palmer and them.
And so I just telling him use what you had to disposal. And even though it was an open game, as it showed the quality with that assist to Saka for the fourth goal, bro.
At a point in this game, England being up 4-0 against France. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
It's shocking to me that he's still
It felt like every time they were on the attack that they were gonna score against this France defense that we lauded as favorites, and everybody lauded as favorites coming into the competition, but they couldn't even finish third, bro.
They look soft. I mean, England could be happy. That's the highest ever finished in 66. So I guess something to be proud about. The 2018 team only managed what, 4th?
Mm-hmm.
The significance
1990 was 4th as well.
of this fourth place.
No, and somebody now asked a question about that too. Just somebody saying food for thought. Third place should be put in the bin. 2 teams with nothing to play for, but stats go towards all of the regular stats.
All time total.
Yeah, and it do.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, let me talk on that one time.
I don't know how I feel about Mbappe breaking the all-time World Cup goal scoring record in a third place match.
Yeah, in a third place game.
That's why I wanted the
2 goals,
significance if
one to tie and one to break it. I don't think that those goals are the same as the knockout
they
competition.
don't hold the same weight. That's why when I
They
hear
can't hold the same weight.
Saka was in the
This is just music to my
first man
ears.
since Jeff
It's
Horst was
just
scoring a
like,
knockout game.
it's just, listen
I
to me.
want to vomit.
If we are going to ridicule Cristiano Ronaldo, who is one of the greatest goal scorers we've ever seen for only scoring group stage goals in the World Cup, but nobody don't care about them 2 third place goals.
No,
And they
but
come
for real,
fourth
bro.
all thing.
That's why
the
I
match
wanna-
just be called the third place player.
So I'll seeing why it does be sick.
is
the
that
match is called the third place
Yeah, I'll
player.
seeing why it's sick.
I wondering if it's just playing for money, just like I was paying Eddie.
No, it's definitely
Yeah, for me, a
that.
money game, there's a
It's
friendly.
the third place.
Why that playing?
No, the third place playoff has been in place for some time. Let me not act like this is a
Yeah,
right.
I just saying.
It's
in terms of
always
the
not.
game,
And
what's
it's
stats?
only because Mbappe, because of this, why
Break
we
record.
necessarily having this discussion. Because the third place has been in place for some time and the stats have always counted towards overall stats and everything. Because I remember even in the 2010 World Cup, the same World Cup that Spain won, in the third place playoff, that's how Thomas Muller scored, missed the semi-final, but returned for the third place game, and that's how he scored to get the golden boot in that competition as well. So history kind of repeating itself in this tournament.
And that kind of.
Yeah, I could remember that very clear. Thomas Muller scored
Why
against
that
Uruguay.
game they playing? What you mean third place? and fourth place.
And knockout game.
You
Who you
just
knocking
a
out?
semi-finalist, bro. That's all. What? So why we in our fifth place? Playoff.
You don't even.
Why
call it
we
a
ain't
knockout
call
game?
why we ain't call all the man them who lose the quarterfinals and say, now we have a playoff to see who. You know, since we are ranking. Since we are rank everybody.
I understand.
Anyhow, General, big up yourself for them 2 dirty goal there. You equal Messi and you break the record. And this is the thing, you are the all-time top goal scorer in World Cup history. I am not going to hate on you. I'm like telling you. M goal should have been 0.5.
Bro, the third. I just went and checked and just make sure to see if it wasn't
How
recently,
long
like
the
in the
third
7th.
place?
No,
No, the
it's
third
since the
place about
19,
since
the
long
19,
time. How
the
long
inception of the World Cup.
Since the start.
I just feel like it's just because of the guy
No.
and how shameless he is. Because everybody
But you
else,
shouldn't be playing 90
everybody else for France, bro, they rotated the entire 11 except for him.
minutes. You shouldn't be playing. You
I
could
feel
get
like it's
injured.
only because it's him really identifying it and magnifying it. So, but I
He
agree.
ain't even win the
Bro,
game.
I agree. I agree. Don't get me wrong, and this is the kind of thing I just be telling all you about when I
He
tell you
didn't
about
win
this
the
guy.
game. This guy
He
is
don't contribute
shameless,
to
bro.
winning. He contributing to his stats, but not to winning.
This guy is
Me ain't saying
shameless.
he make 6 goals score pan France, you know. But he just always happen to be there.
I forget the 6 goals.
Always happen to be there, but
Man.
always getting his goals.
Man, let me talk about some winners. Kudos to you and your golden boot, and we'll talk about that. I mean, I'm not diminishing it, because I think
10 goals.
No, I don't think
10 goals,
10
bro.
goals, and that is he's the first player to win the golden boot twice, right? In terms of at all.
Yeah.
And he's also done it back to back. So
Back
he's
to
set
back.
a whole new record.
And he was 3 goals.
He's the
off
fourth
of
player
the,
to score 10 at a single World
the
Cup.
record in the
He's the
single
first person
edition.
to score that many in 56 years. He has 22 goals in 22 games. That's a goal a game.
In the World Cup.
He's right up there
In the World Cup. You know,
in the World Cup.
so that will be fair.
Also, Olise got 7 assists. That was the most since Pele. So that third place game was really, I think it was very generous. It had something for everyone.
Yeah, I loved it as a neutral. Can't lie.
While we wrap up, we're going to talk about what this win means, a few talking points, and some of the award winners, some team of the tournament mentions, and some honorable mentions as well. I want to start off right at home with my Barcelona boy. What this win means for Lamine Yamal. Well, let me tell you what it means. It means he has a European Championship and a World Cup at the age of 19. Yes, we know he didn't have the best tournament, but he's the first teenager to win the World Cup and the Euros.
Yeah, good for him.
There's a Champions League left.
Yeah, that's a Champions League left.
In terms of team
true.
trophies, lots of individual awards that team could possibly still win. The world is your oyster, Lamine Yamal. Don't stop now because you feel like, yeah, we're chilling in Ibiza, a couple of Spanish girls and thing, and we play me. The boy real jiggy dog, I just like his vibes, and I'm so happy that he's a Barcelona player. Hope to get to see him for many more years.
Before we move on from Lamine, though, I saw an incredible stat that compared the minutes played between Lionel Messi and
Lamine at
Lamine
this
Yamal
age.
at the same age, right? At 19 years and 6 days old. So Lamine has played a total of 13,000 minutes and 13,463 minutes at this stage of his career. Can you guess for me? Just guess the ballpark. How many minutes Messi played at that same age?
600 and something.
Less than that.
300
Wait,
something.
600? Oh, no.
No, I saying 5,500.
Less.
3,000 something.
Less. So 2,000. So 2,093 minutes. So Lamine has played 13,000 minutes and Messi played 2,000 minutes at that same age. So while we are praising him for his brilliant start to his career, we have to be cautious about him in the long term. If goes back to the passing and the touch thing, because Messi played for basically 20 years. If we want to see Lamine play for 20 years, he's gonna have to slow down a bit, maybe.
That gonna happen when you're about 16, same way still.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Because he was
really young and
real young.
Even with guys like
and he important
To
Based
both
on
club and
talent,
country, for club and country.
he instantly imported.
It goes back to like with the guys like Bukayo Saka and the likes, because he boss real old. And if you look at Saka now, who is like in his mid-20s, this is supposed to be the prime of Saka career, but Saka breaking down every minute. You understand, getting physical issues, and we are seeing it with Lamine as well, having little hamstring knocks. So we just have to be careful with his development going forward.
De La Fuente, Shaba.
Yo, De La Fuente has joined the elite group, right? Like we mentioned, Spain have become the fifth team to win the Euro and the World Cup back to back. So this is the second time Spain do it. He already won more for Spain than Luis Aragonés, the legendary Luis Aragonés. He's also the oldest manager to win the World Cup at 65 years old. Wow. Since taking over Spain in 2022, he's only lost 2 games, and that's including our Euros and our World Cup. So what do you want from him? He's excellent. He doesn't make any controversial remarks in the media. Isn't necessarily a problem. All the players have clearly love him because he's been coaching them at the under 19, under 21, and now the senior level. A lot of these same players in the senior team as well. So all credit has to go to Luis De La Fuente, who is definitely making a name for himself, and I'm sure there's much more to come.
All right. And there's a player we all want to wax lyrical about, Rodri.
Rodri joins a special club of 7 players to win the UCL, the World Cup, Ballon d'Or, Euro or Copa. And those players are Beckenbauer, Gerd Müller, Zinedine Zidane, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Lionel Messi. Most touches, tackles won, passes, accurate passes, forward passes, accurate final third passes, open play chances by midfielder best.
Well, that's my opinion. I ain't sure if you share that opinion, eh? That's my opinion.
He said the last time that Rodri.
Oh, the last part.
Yeah. That's just my opinion.
No.
I ain't sure if you agree with that.
I did agree with you because remember I pointed out that he two-sided the ball, while I saw Busquets as more of a ball dog in terms of controlling the pace of the game, tempo, unable to get the ball off him. But I also pointed out that if you go on a counter-attack,
this gonna be fun.
If you go on a counter-attack,
yeah, we will get.
Rodri's quicker clean up a play than Sergio Busquets. Sergio Busquets gets in last in the week. I don't care if he's 25 or 31 prime.
Yeah, he's never been physical. He's never been a physical beast like Rodri.
That is why
Rodri has the physical advantage over him by far.
Busquets revolutionized the position, but Busquets is just a glorified central midfielder, brother.
The counter-attack point that I see Busquets.
Glorified central midfielder. Busquets.
Okay, but think about, like I mentioned, right?
I see Busquets break down real counter-attack. I tell you.
Okay, but think about the team.
No, I'm giving Rodri the physical, and I just saying that.
Right.
Busquets in his own way. Trust me, the boy had a way. I just taking the ball.
No, and we ain't taking nothing. I ain't taking nothing away because
this is just why
I would it.
This is why.
All right, so let's put it straight then. This team versus the 2010 team, player for player.
Rodri, Cucurella.
Rodri, so Busquets out.
Rodri, right. Capdevila out for Cucurella.
It's Porro and Ramos.
Well, that's it.
Puyol and
maybe
Piqué.
Lamine for Pedro.
Sure.
If we go in for how both.
Lamine for Pedro is a good show.
Sure.
But not based on the play at this World Cup.
I think that's as
that,
far
that's just talent for talent, right? Not based on the actual
I really can't go as far back as the 2010 World Cup to remember how Pedro performed.
He was just an average player for the team. There were a lot of games where Jesus Navas started as well. Pedro was not a nailed starter. I'd say that Lamine's influence is,
so yeah, bro.
More. And not even based on Lamine having an average World Cup by his standard, I'd say he had a higher impact, a better impact than Pedro at that time.
Glorified CDM CJ.
Shaba, 3 Euros, 2 World Cups since 2008. Spanish clubs have won 9 Champions Leagues, 9 Europa Leagues in that time. Spanish coaches have also gone on to win the Champions League, League One, Europa League, and the Premier League last season. Is this Spanish football domination? How far everybody else away from Spain and Spanish football?
Keep in mind, those Spanish coaches that won those competitions, none of them Pep Guardiola. Think about that. Right? Pep Guardiola is still probably known as one of the top 2-3 coaches in the world, despite, falling off his perch a bit for the past 2 seasons in England. But just overall, bro, Spain has been dominant, like, for the past 20 years in football, if we're being very, very honest about it. The national team has won more than every other national team has since 2000. If we're going from since the year 2000, no other national team could compare with the Spanish national team. 2 World Cups and 3 European Championships. No other team even win more than 1 Euro in that time. No other team win more than 1 World Cup.
Can't win more than 1 Euro when all they had 3.
You checked? You understand? You understand? So the domination at a national level, even despite having a little lull after the forced dominant period, which is expected, right? Then we go to the club level where we see Madrid winning Champions League after Champions League, Barca dominating in terms of like with having those world-class players we mentioned, Yamal now and Messi before. Spanish football has been dominating Atletico Madrid and Sevilla winning, conquering the Europa League every season for the past 20 years too. So Spanish football plus the coaches that you mentioned.
And the influence of the playing style.
The influence of the playing style. So everything that you keep mentioning about Spanish football and Spain football as a nation is only excellency. Is only excellence you could speak about if we're being real. Whereas growing up, you might have known that to be Brazil. When you know football is Brazil. No. And like for the past 20 years, when you know football is Spain, because everybody want to play tiki-taka, everybody want to play short out the back spread, your 2 center backs them, and play out from the back, and that is a Spanish influence. So the dominance is clear, and I don't think any other country could step to it. The Premier League, in terms of challenging La Liga, is the closest thing we see to a competition. Premier League is better and bigger than La Liga, right? In terms of commercial and everything. Competition and everything from 1 to 20 if we're being fair.
100%.
Right? But everything else, Spain dominates, bro. From top to bottom.
You got it there, folks?
Yeah, I don't feel there could be any disagree. I don't feel there could be any disagree.
Right there. Dappy, before we do these quick hits and give some awards before we sign out on today's episode, I want to talk briefly about the legacy Messi has left. What's next for Argentina? I mean, is it more thuggery and more controversial calls, or do you see them? I don't know. I feel like Argentinian football now it has become synonymous with a figurehead. So obviously, my question is gonna be, who's gonna be the next?
Messi or Maradona? It's real hard to tell because the profiles are the types of players that we've been seeing across the team. Doesn't indicate that we'll be seeing one soon. I know we have Prestiani.
Everybody didn't catch the Japanese. Catch the joke.
But boy, I know they have a few youth in their ranks, but what really hurt me in the last few games in competition, they didn't integrate them too much into the side, and they were stuck with not necessarily old as in age, but old guard as in terms of the last World Cup, and they didn't give much chances to those players.
The man bring out Otamendi instead of Senesi, for example, basically. You check?
So, as much as I understand experience in that situation, Otamendi has played in a World Cup final, Senesi hasn't. Still, you would expect him to give chance Senesi, who has been probably better than Otamendi throughout the
best Premier League defenders this season.
Almada, Nico Paz,
Valentin Barco, Ezekiel Palacios.
Youth that they have in the ranks.
A lot of talent.
Scaloni didn't use. He should be flagged just like how Tuchel should be flagged.
Yeah, and he has done a lot of good, but he definitely messed up yesterday, even by starting Nico Gonzalez, because what was that? Every time I saw their plan basically was to sink long balls in behind Pedro Porro, seeking Nico Gonzalez because he has a slight height advantage over Porro. But Porro dominated that matchup, and I feel like there's a bad call from him starting Nico Gonzalez.
Tactically, they didn't look like they were set up to play a team who was going to keep the ball. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand what was their approach, but
I really don't understand.
Well, I still feel like it's more credit to Spain in terms of anything.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, what's next for Argentina, because I'm not a fan. I'm not really watching them as closely as maybe a man like Draka, or Kimo
Argentina fan.
So maybe they would know, but I could only point out to the Nico Pazes of the world who has shown to be exciting prospects and very good ballers. So
Bro, all I can say,
We'll see if it's 43-year-old Messi in 2030 then.
all I can say, bro, is now is we going to see. And this is a more a banter take. A banter
Now
take.
we will find
Now
out
is when we're going to find out who is the real fans.
revolutionaries,
Who is the
man.
real fans of Argentina who been just following Argentina called Messi. And now Messi gone, we're going to see if Argentina have all these fans in the next 4 years.
wheels
But
on the wagon go
serious
round
note,
and
though,
round.
they have a lot of young talent. And it kind of harsh to flag Scaloni because he only really lose one game. That's one game he lose in extra time in 106 minutes to the best team in the world right now in the last 4 years. That's the first game he lose in probably 4 years, right? His approach was wrong. His starting 11 was wrong. He's still wrong for it. But we ain't saying Scaloni out.
No, I ain't saying
Right,
out.
we
I
ain't saying
out.
Scaloni out, but he definitely deserves criticism
Yeah.
for what he's done. But based on what he's done in the past, he deserves, the chance to continue.
Yeah,
But
credit
but the
anyone.
way he spoke after the game, though, it kind of sounded like it's a farewell. So if Messi leaving and Scaloni leaving, it would certainly be a big shake-up in the Argentina team.
Scaloni strikes me as the
Yo,
type.
I love to see Argentines hard. So I.
Remember, that's a Brazilian. That's a Brazilian over there.
Brazilian fan. Scaloni strikes me as the type not to overstay his welcome. And I think based on what he's done with Argentina,
Yeah, fair enough. You could go out on a high.
could go out on a high.
Go out on a high.
Back-to-back World Cup finals, 2 Copa Americas.
Yeah.
And especially the Argentina side that he's got from Maradona and Sampaoli, and he really brought them back to relevance.
To that-
I mean,
to that
they
level.
went to a 2014 World Cup before. Don't get me wrong.
But
on
they
that,
didn't
but-
have the prestige, man.
yeah, and they weren't playing the best football. They didn't look as solid, and then he carried them on this long unbeaten run, and he made them a lot.
Something
a lot
else
harder
I
to
would
play.
say though.
They do.
Something else I would say
The
before
next
we move.
coach is obviously Diego Simeone.
Well, yeah, no, most of I could see that. I could see that being a
That
reality.
makes sense. If you all
His
want
time
kick-
is almost
If all
up.
want kick down everybody.
So I think that would answer this next one.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. But before we even get to that, because that was shameful what we saw at the end of the game from Argentina. But what we see in this World Cup here, I feel like definitely shows the importance of Angel Di Maria and what he brought to basically being Messi's sidekick.
Creativity.
Right? Argentina did not have someone who is a secondary playmaker or even secondary goal scorer.
Or
really
as
and truly.
clutch.
You
Not
understand?
even
Or
like
even as
a, not
clutch.
even like a Dybala type
You under-
something.
You understand? So Di Maria
Something
really,
else.
Di Maria's value, by not being here, definitely went up because he was Messi's sidekick for all of those championships.
Before we move
Di
on,
Maria
before we
very
move on,
underrated.
John Laporta, I hope you're listening to me. The audience here on GSCP is large enough for you to be hearing the words that I'm saying. Please, for the love of God, hide the credit card, because I know we ain't have no money if I tell you hide the money. Hide the credit card, the overdraft, wherever loan, wherever part of the old car you're going to sell, don't sell it. Please do not send $100+ million to Atletico for nothing.
For who?
Please, Julian Alvarez is an amazing player, but he ain't now in the World Cup. We have 8 of those.
Somewhat overrated.
Please.
I have to say.
Please look inward. Let me check La Masia. Give 3 of them youth, promote 3 of the youth them from La Masia and let they rotate between the 3. Please.
Hope one catch.
And hope one catch. Don't waste with money we don't have none. Don't waste it. Please.
Don't waste
Please.
it.
And what about the Atletico don't even want to sell him? Let he go Arsenal let
Don't waste
rest your front.
We spoke about
Rest
Alvarez
different.
during the season, and it's basically consistent with what I was saying.
Rest it.
Very poor as a player, bro. If we're being real.
We got 2 minutes to cuss about what we saw from Argentina at the end of the game in extra time.
And after the game.
Plus, after the game, this whole turn your back thing. I don't know what it was with them and the fans and the whole team. I mean, me really wanted no spectators. Spain had enough people watching them lift the trophy. So that is on all. But I find it real
Distasteful.
distasteful for we give all a passoa. You see, you know what that be?
Yeah.
It's a guard of honor. Sportsman-like conduct. Clap all you. Go and go pick up your silver medal. And we celebrating and lifting up we golden trophy. And all the ain't want to move like all the ain't now get shell. With 0 shots in 90 minutes.
Yeah, that been real disgraceful for real, bro.
I go have to say, is the true colors of Argentina coming out, and
Disrespectful.
from the time that Paredes came on the field and the first challenge that he made, it was clear to see what his intention on the pitch was. And then after the game, we saw what his intentions were as well
Brawling.
in terms of literally fighting with players.
He
I
had
don't think
tackles after the whistle blow and during the time he did on the field.
Can't lie, when he give
Cause when he
Gavi
dey on the
the
field, he
little-
can't get the ball.
I smile, my heart smile so much when he get Gavi. Move your little self, what you doing here, boy? You see the big man fighting.
yeah, but the thuggery, the overall that and as what people trying to defend, like they don't have no football about them, and you don't ever see Messi involved in that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Messi
Right?
stand up.
You don't ever see Messi involved. So
watch
it's
him.
not Messi when I say this is the culture of Argentina. But this is their true colors, especially when they're losing. They are so losers, bro.
As a lifelong Messi fan, he ain't getting away from me.
No, because he's the leader of
they're
the team.
going- exactly.
And it keeps
He
happening
ain't-
with him.
He ain't getting. I sorry, Lionel.
Always, bro.
He
I go
always-
defend you with
nonchalant.
many things. And when it come to any Messi versus Ronaldo debate, my brother just know I am your staunch supporter because he can't come wrong you. I don't care with nobody
Yeah.
on this planet tell me.
Yeah.
He can't come wrong you. His greatest achievement is being compared to you. But in terms of whoever vex with that, let it put the World Cup on the table. I don't say so already. Put your World Cup on the table else I ain't talking. The requirement for me, I've got discussion with you, is a World Cup. Produce it or shut up. Right. Moving on from that, what I'm saying is there have been too many moments where remember, I don't support Argentina. I don't just watch the game then because I'm like, good. There's been just too many more. It happened against Germany too. The unsportsmanlike type of behavior and this and that. It happened. I could pull up more other games. It happened against Chile too. Them and Chile reach a point where it have for extra security in the stadium and this and that because the man and them just more interested in brawling than playing football. Bro, your team come and all they get school, and I feel like the least you could do after the game is it done. The
Just
game
accept
done.
it, yeah. Especially,
Just you ain't even for clap. Let me do police how you feel and your emotions. But I feel like coming to fight, like having a man moment after the final whistle just blow dog. You are my lifelong memory of me winning the World Cup to be you coming up to me for fight with me rather than me just celebrating. When all you win in 2022, Messi get for drop down on the knees and all you come around him and all you start a ball and all of this and all of that. And France let all you do all the thing and have your moment because they understood what that meant for Messi. What it was, the pour rope on him all kind of thing. Me never seen on them thing they World Cup. But I said, all right, cool. For what he mean to world football thing. But you didn't stand up. And you out of time in thugs on them. You goons them. They come around my Barcelona players and Regin is the goat. Is my goat. Where you see this? You see this? Yeah, we ain't playing with that. Let me send them awards here and wrap up today's discussion. We got the winners of the tournament. Spoiler alert is Spain. But we got some individual awards to give out as well. Golden Ball.
Rodri, Messi with the silver, and Kylian with the bronze.
Discuss.
While I thought Messi deserved another golden ball, I really don't have a problem with Rodri winning it. And despite not having the goals and assists to his name, he was the main key to how Spain really went about the play. He was cleaning up, he was picking up passes, relieving pressure, starting plays. I think, it all revolved around Rodri, and I don't think that he should be discredited because, he lacked those goals and assist stats that the likes of a Messi and a Kylian Mbappe have.
No, Rodri was definitely Spain's best player. So the best player from the best team and the team that won is who was awarded the golden ball. But I don't feel like Rodri. I don't think that Rodri was necessarily had the biggest influence. Was the MVP of the competition, because when you really watch Argentina yesterday and
If not for Messi, who?
when you really watch Argentina yesterday and the other 10 players, maybe 9 except for Martinez, the goalkeeper, it really showed how much of a carry job he did at the age of 39 as well. I feel like even going into the game, regardless of how it went, I feel like he should have won it. But Rodri's influence is large, bro, and And just on the goat, I don't have a horse in that goat debate between CR7 and Messi,
No
because
debate.
I don't have a stand. I don't stand players. My favorite player ever is Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos is not a goat, but Sergio Ramos is my favorite player. So I don't have no stand horse in race. But Messi is clearly the greatest player of all time, and at least greatest from what I've seen of my lifetime.
100%.
Right? So the fact that
Because
he was blanketed like that yesterday doesn't take away from the fact that I think he carried Argentina to that stage, and without him, they probably would have been out since Egypt or even against Cabo Verde. Well, let's be real, he was heroic throughout the competition.
Here why I think Messi deserves the golden ball. Because Mbappe exists. And let me explain that. The winner of the golden ball is who should have won it. I don't think Messi should win it because Mbappe exists. Messi is propped up in what he's doing by, in my opinion, the weakness of his teammates. Look how much of a goal scoring performance Mbappe put in, right? But because Mbappe have that structure around him with other great performers, it's almost like you're taking some shine off of what he's doing. I feel like if Mbappe scored 10 goals without only 7 assists and other things happening around him in the France team, what he's doing looks a lot more important and a lot more spectacular if he's the only one.
I don't even think I went out on a limb when I say he had the most goal contributions with the 4 assists as well. So
yeah. So I feel like while Rodri, is awardee of that award, and by the way, he's only the 4th player ever to win that award, plus the World Cup, plus the Ballon d'Or, plus the Champions League, along with Zidane, Messi, and Paolo Rossi. So there's a elite company that he joined.
Golden Boot, surprise, surprise.
Kylian
Mbappe, he also happens to be the top goal scorer in World Cup history. He has won the Golden Boot at World Cups back to back. That's 10 goals at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. What more can we say?
I just hope the farm could translate to club. I don't think it's a surprise that Mbappe was the Golden Boot winner coming into the competition. I feel like that would have been a safe bet.
Wait, hold on. Somebody got that right.
Yeah, I called
Messi.
I called it going into I said he would shamelessly start, and look to farm goals in a game, and so he did. But there's not much more that we could say about him. He's definitely gonna be back in the next 4 years to add to that tally. So it's crazy to think about how many he could end up on with.
Golden Glove, Unai Simon.
Yeah.
Remember we're wrapping it up.
Pau Kobasi.
Seven clean sheets, by the way.
In 8 games.
That's a record.
Only 10 saves in the whole competition. In 10 saves in 8 games.
In the final, must have done that.
And I think
but that is not a knock on Unai Simon. It's not like the ball flying past him and he's not saving it.
No, he had to do a lot of sweeping up.
The expected goals that Spain, I think, had
combined for the entire
was
tournament.
like 2.39 or
I
something.
think the average XG, yeah.
Lowest ever.
But for me, Simon did what he had to do. Most definitely, there were a lot of times when he came rushing far out of his box to clear ball and thing. Even yesterday, there was one with Messi where he basically meet Messi on the halfway line in the first half. If he did get around his red card, but he didn't make any mistakes. A lot of people been calling for Ryan and to start, but for me, Simon did what he had to.
The most experienced goalkeeper started and it showed.
Yeah.
Best young player of the tournament, as I predicted.
As Sharp predicted.
Pau Kubasi. Kubasi.
He's
Boy, real bad dog, 19, silent, sharp.
He's a stunning player.
Fair play award.
Clean. This is the least cards or the least
I'm not sure how they award that, but I saw FIFA posted it today. That's a good research.
Big up the Netherlands. And something we didn't mention, but the man of the match, the MVP of the finals. Oh, my boy. The Shark. But I pile on him for obvious reasons. I'm a Barcelona fan. He's an inconsistent player. I'm a football fan. What do you do?
No, that's proper finish, bro.
Yeah, but that's a yeah. And I remember saying I wish Ferran could miss on school. If he's a Barca fan, you're gonna know what I mean by that. Yeah, Ferran missed on school yesterday and I was a happy camper. That means our updated team of the tournament is as follows. In goal we have
Wazinia.
On the right back we got
Poro.
Centre backs, I got my 2 centre backs, Kubasi and Laporte. On the left we got
Korea.
CDM.
Rodri.
Okay, and here's where it gets, less Spanish.
Yeah.
We got Cape Verde goalkeeper
The whole
and
Spanish
the whole
defense.
Spanish defense plus Rodri. So you don't know we are winning team,
Yeah, yeah.
right? We got
I still was undecided on the Olise, Enzo, the third position in midfield, because I feel like it's only one slot up for discussion, and it's that Olise,
Is it
Enzo,
Olise, Enzo?
whoever else you want to put.
right.
Rodri,
So, all right,
Bellingham,
we'll call
yeah,
name the last. Then it's Rodri, Bellingham.
Bellingham,
We done decide already that it's Messi, Haaland, and Mbappe, and that's been that for a while.
yeah, for some time. So we just have really come to a final
7
conclusion.
assists more since
and
Pele
Olise.
he had to get. Aside,
I
he
mean,
had to get.
it's 60-something years or something Pele been playing.
He had to get. He had to get.
Yeah.
He gets in the team.
7
So for
assists
those
is
people
plenty.
who was
It's plenty, man.
wondering about him in the team,
Messi had 12
Olise makes it in. Some honorable mentions before we wrap up. We got
Kobe,
Unai
Simon, and we got
Emi Martinez, William Saliba,
Right.
Upamecano, Romero, and
Christian
Lisandro
Romero could get
Martinez.
a big buy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Molina, Munoz.
McAllister, Danny Olmo, great tournament.
Yeah,
in my
great
opinion,
tournament. Spain almost showed up.
just behind Olise for that position too, in my opinion. Yeah.
Unai, who you gave a shout for young player.
Enzo, who had a
who's-
great tournament until
whose
that
face we don't
boneheaded
like.
moment.
Whose face I just don't like Enzo face.
Boneheaded moment.
Fabian
bro.
Ruiz.
Another great tournament
Shaka.
by him, bro.
Shaka,
And Manzambi,
Manzambi.
who earned himself a move to Aston Villa.
come on, a man,
After
Zambi.
We got our striker,
Mikel Oyarzabal,
We got Harry.
Harry Kane.
Balogun,
Nabalogan,
Gun.
who really had a great World Cup.
No,
Saibari is a good
great
shout.
shout from
Yeah.
our producer,
Our producer,
Saibari, as
Saibari
well
is a
from
good shout.
Morocco.
We got Vinny Jr.,
Quinones from
who it
Mexico.
looked like something could happen earlier on if Brazil could have stayed in the tournament. He really looked on it, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
he did his part.
Answer.
And Ismail Assar.
So,
So it was,
and
it was
here comes the sad part. The part where you have to contend with the fact that
World Cup is
after
done.
104 games, about a month and a half, 3 countries, 48 teams,
One
now it's come
winner.
down to this. But we have a new champion.
One winner.
Spain are the champions. And at least 2 people here on the podcast tonight are ecstatic about that.
Bro, it's actually
And that
a
paper
very
could
good
say
feeling,
something,
bro.
you know, towards your team. I grew up knowing your team as a reference point. Your team's still a reference point. So I mean, wherever your team been doing when I'm in CN was real excellent. Because people still talking about your team.
I telling everybody the first time Brazil win the World Cup, I look outside this way, St. Vincent and the Grenadines win the World Cup, cars drive around the place, with Brazil flag on the bonnet, and
2002.
2002, bro. It was something else, and still waiting. Up to the last day, telling Baz and them man about my fat man striker. When he a Ghana man and all on the ground with the big belly and
2006.
still walking around
Yeah,
keeper
2006.
over. So it was
I
something
feel like
else.
we're getting to a point of serious nostalgia about Brazil right now, and because
Serious
the
nostalgia.
current and the last, you know.
All the best highlights them start to look real great, yeah.
Yeah, this is that's what we're getting to know. That's what I'm trying to say basically. The low and the Brazil that we know.
Them, bro,
it's
that
another
total
4
night
years.
ticket there.
You know what I'm saying? It's a long time. You understand? But I mean, you know, football is cyclical.
4 years.
Football is a cycle, and
We're
those
gonna see it
things
again.
those things come around. Argentina is now gonna be without Messi, so the fight at least in South America is gonna be
Portugal
more
is going to
even.
be without Ronaldo.
You know what I'm saying? So Spain,
That might help.
but Spain, bro, Spain. What I've witnessed in my lifetime, winning 2 World Cups and 3 Euros in like a 20-year span is crazy, and the future is brighter than most other countries.
Oh, man. There you have it. The FIFA World Cup 2026.
Danilo retire? Just check it.
Carlo, please don't pick Danilo again for
Don't
Dappy's
pick
sake,
Danilo
bro.
down.
For Dappy's sake,
Please, all I had to pick us about Danilo the whole time. This has been another episode of Global Sports from a Caribbean Perspective. Another live edition episode. Let us know down in the comment section if you enjoy the lives, the interactive sessions. Remember, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, share, and join our community. I'm your host, Prime, here with my boy.
Champion.
And my boy. And we bring you the best sports, the best takes, and all things global sports from a Caribbean perspective. One GSCP as usual. You know we?
Global.
All right, peace. Swagger.